about the fact that the people who are in power are pedophiles, rapists, and murderers. I tell my 15-year-old son, hey, whenever you want to pull a Nepal and just start tossing them in the river, let me know. I'm so down. I'll drive you there. We'll drag them and we'll throw them in the river because I'm fucking done. I don't know how angry any of you are, but I have never felt such a boiling anger in my body as I do now. And that anger is growing, and I'm channeling that anger. I'm bringing the heat to melt ice. And not just ice. I'm dead serious. I hope you all join me and join those of us who are really coming into this radicalization that this country should no longer exist. And I intend to continue fighting them from my position as a veteran. And there are veterans here. So I know I've been talking for a hot minute, but I just want to speak to veterans in particular. I think that we have a great responsibility in this moment because we have worked for the state. We have worked for the state and have been exploited and abused by the state. Many of us joined the military because we didn't have options. We joined the military because we needed money, we needed housing, we needed to be just safe. And we were coerced into thinking, oh, we're gonna go fight for our country. I never fought for my country. I certainly fought for something and someone, but it had nothing to do with safety. It had nothing to do with freedom. And so I'm up here to tell all of you, don't thank a veteran for their service. That was not service. I've been saying that my time in the military was a sacrifice. It was an experience that I had that radically changed my life, and I didn't really realize it until just a couple of years ago, and certainly didn't realize it until I joined Veterans for Peace in the way that I realize it now. That time in the military, that was the sacrifice. But being out here in the streets with all of you is the actual service. So thank you all for your service. Thank yourselves. The last thing I want to say is, I don't know, join Veterans for Peace. I'm actually quite serious about this. One thing that Vets for Peace is talking a lot about right now, is thinking a lot about right now, is we need to build strong, resilient systems of community safety. We need to be able to continue to bring the kind of heat that we've been bringing to ICE to all of these other very fucking complicit agencies. And so we're building a veteran civilians community defense network as we speak. We're developing a basic training, believe it or not, and every single one of us needs to have a base knowledge, understanding of how to engage in situations in which we are encountering the state. And so there's going to be more information coming out about that from Vets for Peace over the next several months. So stay tuned, stay involved, stay engaged. I fucking love all of you so much. I have never felt so in community, so held, so cared for as I do standing with all of you throughout the past 3 months especially. So give all of yourselves a round of applause. And cheers, please, loudly. I'm wrapping up my speech, so if you could make me feel like really great, that would be awesome. I'm fucking tired. We've all been working so many hours, but the work cannot stop. So keep it up. Thank you so much for coming. Who's next? Not the speaker. Oh, do we want to have some kind of a, do we want to do like a lineup or something?
Welcome,
thank you.
Welcome. Live in Fort Snelling.
I was just going to say
Minnesota.
that actually, yeah. If folks are interested in speaking today, please gather and probably line up more in this area. The next person I want to invite up here is Paul from the ACLU. I'm sorry, I will get to you, sir. You can go first. All right.
So one thing I appreciated about the last speaker was that they use the word fuck almost as much as I do. So thank you for your service in that regard. My name's Kip Hedges. I live at 3312 18th Avenue South in Minneapolis. And the reason why I say that is because I know that ICE already knows, and you know how I know they know, where I live and what my name is. So that's not something that I can take back. I was a baggage handler for 30 years right over there at the airport. And I have the surgical scars to prove it. I'm now retired. I want to talk about what happened at the airport on January 23rd, which was the mass strike, which I'm sure most of you either participated in or you're downtown with 100,000 other people in the minus 22-degree temperatures. At Delta Airlines, where I worked for 30 years, and also Northwest Airlines before they merged, probably half of the workers at Delta are immigrants. And they were confronted for week after week with a spectacle of ICE agents on the jetways, in the terminal, checking people's IDs. Now, mind you, the people who work at the airport have badges. And that requires a federal government security check and clearance. So there's no reason to check those badges except to fuck with people. That's part of what drove 30% of the baggage handlers at Delta to call in sick on January 23rd. And that's a non-union company. In the union companies, represented by SEIU Local 26 and Unite Here Local 17, 70% of the workers called out sick that day. And as one of my friends who was working on the ramp that day said, it was a shit show. So workers can interfere with the flow of profits of the billionaire class like nobody else. And that's part of, there's two things that we want a victory. Let's first say that we want a victory with the drawdown of ICE. Now, it's a temporary victory, and it's just a battle in the war, but we did win a victory. And part of the two things contributed to that in my mind. One is the rapid response, the mutual aid networks was like the defensive struggle, and then the offensive struggle was the mass strike on January 23rd. And it takes both things for us to keep on going and to win. One is complementary to the other. So now I want to talk just real briefly about the fact that on May 1st, May Day, which used to be celebrated in the United States in a big way, and I think it's making a comeback, May Day, there's a number of the same organizations and unions that called for January 23rd as a mass strike that are calling for no work, no school, no shopping on May 1st.
That's right.
So I want all of you to be thinking about that. There'll be more information and publicity and social media posts, etc., coming out in the near future. But get ready to go to stick it to the billionaire class on May 1st, because we have one other big stop on the train, and that's the No Kings rally on March 28th, and then May 1st. Those are the two big sort of explosive events on our train to get rid of fascism and get rid of ICE. So thank you very much. Next speaker.
All right, we've got a very special one. Jack from Haven Watch.
Welcome, everybody. We're live at the Henry Whipple
And
building
I'm bumping him in front because, he's got
at
to
Fort
get
Snelling,
back to
Minnesota,
it, of course.
live on Status
Thank you,
Coup
Jack.
News and Mercado
Hey,
Media.
everyone. Yeah, that's okay.
Please support independent media by
was trying
liking
to
the
say
video,
three things,
subscribing
almost-
to the YouTube channel.
Almost more as like a PSA to spread word kind of thing. First one, I think all of us know this, but keep saying that it's still happening. The number's not zero, and it's not even close to zero. I like some of these Facebook posts that are like, we're Vikings fans, like we're not going to early sell anything. Let's keep that mindset going, because The only thing that's changed is tactics. We see the same amount coming in and out when we're helping up here, and the cages or whatever you want to call them being empty is just simply it's just not true. I don't need to go into detail. It's very obviously the verdict's out. It's still happening. Second thing, for some of you organizers, which is, as she said, is kind of all of us, but there's these ISAP appointments, and I don't personally actually know what that means, but it's some sort of ICE house arrest is kind of my understanding generally. And anytime you can escort or help with those, some of our people who have been kidnapped have been told to go to that appointment and do, like, quote unquote, the right thing, and then end up being taken from there. And I don't know that that's been out for the public as much as it could be. So please help spread that word. Lastly, and this might be the hardest one, there's a number of right-wingers that are shifting on this issue, and it's very tempting to say, like, you voted for a piss-infected cum bubble 3 times, and just like come at them. But I'm just asking that we bite our tongue and say welcome, because that public image in Washington is a lot more important, unfortunately, than the deaths that we've had to experience watching and hearing about. And the more people that we can get behind us, I think keeping that one goal in mind, abolish ICE. And we need to stay very targeted on that and welcome anyone that wants to help. Thank you, guys.
Is it afternoon already? I'm lost track of time. Is morning still? Good. 11:25. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? So, my name's Paul Sullivan. I'm an organizer with the American Civil Liberties Union of Minnesota. Also, as an organization that has defended swearing in front of the Supreme Court, I also appreciate the number of fucks that have been thrown around already, Kip, so thank you for that. I prepared a little bit of something. We'll see how close I get to actually doing it correctly. But we're gathered here today on, as has been noted, stolen Dakota land in the shadow of the Henry Whipple building for one reason. Not just to speak, but to refuse to be silent. Yeah. Silence is exactly what the government has been trying to force on our communities. That's through intimidation, through fear, through the violence that our Black, brown, and indigenous relatives have known for generations that most of the folks that have my complexion are just now coming around to. Operation Metro Surge, and before, obviously, has seen just a flood of faceless federal agents go into our neighborhoods, gas us, drag us out of our cars, busting in our windows, snatching Minnesotans off the street without a trace. And all of this has been in the name of safety, supposedly. Yeah, no, that's worth a boo. I think that's worth a boo, yeah. And again, why is this? Not because of any sort of individualized suspicion like they're supposed to have. Not because they have any sort of warrant grounded in probable cause. The only reason is because they believe they can act without consequence. Because they believe that power is what gives them permission. And that right there, that exactly right there, is how authoritarianism grows and festers. Normalizing unchecked state violence, lawlessness sold as safety, turning our entire neighborhoods into targets. But in Minnesota, I think we all know better, as we've shown here. Power does not grant permission. The Constitution can help bring accountability, but you know what really needs to happen for there to be accountability is the people standing up and saying something to demand it. And of course, what did they do when we've tried to demand accountability? Every time that we've tried to film them with our phones, every time. What's that? Retaliate. Yes, they've retaliated every time. They've doused us in tear gas. They've dragged us into Whipple. They have, pulled us out of our vehicles for the audacity of just existing behind them on a public road. This is the only offense that so many of these Minnesotans have, is just to be bearing witness to what is happening, the state violence happening against our neighbors. That is the scale of their fear, let's be clear. Just witnessing what they're doing has become a threat to this institution. So, let's be very crystal clear. Speaking from the ACLU's perspective, you have that constitutional right to witness, always. You have the constitutional right to protest, always. And no federal agency, no federal agent has the authority to take that away. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the legal side of what all's going on here. Now, let's be super clear. That's one plank of the battle. What y'all are doing is the front lines of the battle. If the legal side can help out with stuff, that's what we can hopefully do. But it needs everybody to make it work. So, we've gone to court twice now. I don't know if y'all have seen this. One is Tainture v. Nome. That is to get ICE and CBP to stop retaliating against people who are lawfully, peacefully just following them in their cars or filming them in their neighborhoods. You know, the judge initially granted the injunction to stop that, which within, I think it was 48 hours, the incredibly conservative 8th Circuit instantly overturned. But you know what? That hasn't stopped us, has it? No, exactly. We're still out here. We're still getting stories. We're still making sure that the entire world knows that ICE is still here and it's still doing the same shit. And that needs to be louder. And I lost my notes. 2 seconds. Just a second. So, yes, fuck ICE. Here, yeah, that's a good filler. Everyone fuck ICE. Fuck ICE! There we go. All right, where were we? Okay, so, and obviously that doesn't end with just them abusing observers. They've obviously been going through the thing that is foundational to the American immigration system, a racism, racial profiling, abusing our neighbors just because they're Somali, Latino, Southeast Asian, simply for existing in public spaces. That's why we've also sued to stop them from racially profiling people in Hussein v. Nome. Because when federal agents are arresting people based on the color of their skin, that is the government violating every single right that exists for us. There's one, yeah. I want to say the named plaintiff in the case, incredibly brave young man named Mubashir Hussein, said something that I wanted to read out to y'all just because it should shake all of us. In court, he said, "If this court does not act, we will continue to be harmed simply for living in the United States of America. When existing becomes an invitation to harm, authoritarianism is not on the horizon. It is at the door. But you know what authoritarianism can't withstand? Organized people telling the truth in public together. That is why we're here today. To turn that pain into power, turn witnesses into plaintiff, turn stories into protections. We're here to build, with all of this pain, historically back to the Dakota War in this area, to the moment, to turn that pain into power. And I'm going to put a little bit of a plug in here for the ACLU and for all the other organizations that are doing the legal work. That means we need your help. The legal fight is only one piece of this puzzle, but as part of that puzzle, it can help turn the tide. So I'm asking today, if you have experienced any sort of abuse at the hands of ICE and CBP, I'm sure there are plenty of instances in the crowd. I've talked with many of you before. That means racial profiling, a warrantless arrest, an arrest just for being present in public and filming without obstructing. We want to hear your story. What does that do? That gives us ammunition in court that allows us to push back. Will that solve all of this? Probably not. But is it a tool that we can afford to put down? No. All right, I'm almost done, I promise. Just a second. So, like I said, if you've been racially profiled by CBP, if you have any sort of arrest that is rooted in your appearance rather than any sort of evidence, or any sort of retaliation, please, we need your declaration. Your declaration is how we fight back. It's how we win. Where was I? I apologize. Just a second, y'all. So in closing, I'm going to say I have a bunch of cards up here with scans for QR codes to be able to report that to us. I encourage you to report it to the media, to other people in this space. And also, I encourage everybody here, if you have it in you, to come out here and talk. If you can speak, share it. If you've endured something, share it. If you've been harmed, let us all help turn that harm into justice. Because when we witness together, when we refuse to turn away, when we insist that our communities deserve dignity and safety and rights, we shift that balance of power. Because who keeps us safe? We keep us safe. Who keeps us safe? We keep us safe. And together, we are going to fucking drive ICE out of this state. So, thank you.
Thank you, Sully. We appreciate you.
All right, we've got some music up for you next.
All right, everybody, welcome. We're live at Fort Snelling. You got community gathering today talking about the federal raids. We're live on Status Quo News, live on
How y'all doing?
Mercado Media. They're going to have art,
I've
they're
never
going to
really
have
been a big one
music
for the speeches,
and speeches
so
today.
You'll have to help me out here a little bit. There's a chorus to this song, goes like this. It's a rewrite of a song that was passed on to us by our brothers and sisters over in the north part of Ireland when they were interning them during the Troubles. So the chorus goes a little something like this. Armored hold on, I gotta find my key here. It's not that one. Yeah, that might be the key. Armored cars and tanks and guns take our daughters and our sons. Everyone must stand behind the ones behind the wire. Armored cars and tanks and guns take our daughters and our sons. Everyone must stand behind the ones behind the wire. Y'all got it? I know you're shy, you're Minnesotans. Let me tell you a little story real quick here. Back during the farm crisis, my dad went up and he tried to watch Jesse Jackson give a speech to these farmers up in around Fargo. And Jesse Jackson was trying to do that whole call and response thing. It was not working out. He's talking about, oh, who grows the food that feeds this great country? And he had Ole and Yelmer up there in the front row. And they gave a stern nod, which was about the highest point of emotion their wives had ever seen from them. So I know we're Minnesotan, and I know it's too early in the morning for any of you to have been drinking, so let's give it a shot. Armored cars and tanks and guns take our daughters and our sons. Everyone must stand behind the ones behind the wire. Armored cars and tanks and guns take our daughters and our sons. Everyone must stand behind the ones behind the wire. In the streets of Minneapolis, in the dark of early morn, federal agents come a-running, wrecking little homes with scorn, tear-gassing the crying children, dragging fathers from their cars, shooting down the helpless mothers, and the blood they spill is ours. Armored cars and tanks and guns take our daughters and our sons. Everyone must stand behind the ones behind the wire. Armored cars and tanks and guns take our daughters and our sons. Everyone must stand behind the ones behind the wire. Not for them a judge or jury, or indeed a crime at all. Being foreign means they're guilty, so they're guilty one and all. Round the world the truth will echo, Custer's men are here again. Washington again is sullied in the eyes of honest men. Armored cars and tanks and guns take our daughters and our sons. Everyone must stand behind the ones behind the wire. Armored cars and tanks and guns take our daughters and our sons. Everyone must stand behind the ones behind the wire. So fill the streets and raise the banners, blow your whistles and you'll see neighbors stand as one together until everyone is free. Arm the people, stand together, see the Icemen run away. Strike for all the friends they've stolen till they've all come back to stay. Armored cars and tanks and guns take our daughters and our sons. Everyone must stand behind the ones behind the wire. Armored cars and tanks and guns take our daughters and our sons. Everyone must stand behind the ones behind the wire. Let me warm up a little bit more here. I want you to chat with me a little bit. 10 toes down. Run the feds out of town. 10 toes down. Run the feds out of town. 10 toes down. Run the feds out of town. 10 my key again. All right, well, a couple days ago I messaged 5051 over on Facebook, and I asked them if they had a mic set up and if I could sing some songs. And the only words I got back initially was, ha 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 ha, Dick Blizzard. I guess this song's gonna be my legacy. I barely fucking know it myself. It goes something like this. There we go. Come raise up a glass for 2726. When against the ice Nazis came a blizzard of dicks. At Whipple we whip dildos onto their vans. To stand hard against the tyrants, the measure of man. The people faced down those tyrannical fucks and yeeted the penises into their trucks. We didn't throw Molotovs, bottles, or rocks, but we pounded them down with the silicone cocks. Come raise up a glass for 2726. When against the ice Nazis came a blizzard of dicks. At Whipple they whipped dildos onto their vans. To stand hard against the tyrants, the measure of man. Those Icemen are feds, but they called on the state. They pulled out the sheriffs to collaborate. They fitted the sheriffs and rolled them on down and covered themselves so they could go to town. Come raise up a glass for 2726. When against the ice Nazis came a blizzard of dicks. At Whipple they whipped dildos onto their vans. To stand hard against the tyrants, the measure of man. The sheriff stood at attention, so stiff and so proud. They swung their hardwood and they beat off the crowd. They pulled out the handcuffs, we cried, yes indeed, you can bury us daddy, but we are the seeds. Come raise up a glass for 2726. When against the ice Nazis came a blizzard of dicks. At Whipple they whipped dildos onto their vans. To stand hard against the tyrants, the measure of man. We're getting our folks back, we're giving them care. But Icemen have nightmares, we're filling the air. Our dildos that shoot rainbow streams as they hit. And that's the most action that they'll ever get. Come raise up a glass for 2726. When against the ice Nazis came a blizzard of dicks. At Whipple they whipped dildos onto their vans. To stand hard against the tyrants, the measure of man. So feds, learn your lesson, so sticky it sticks. If you fuck with us, you'll need a blizzard of dicks. Those Icemen regretted that they ever came. Like the world regrets that their dads did the same. One hope, one dream, the fall of the regime. One hope, one dream, the fall of the regime. One hope, one dream, the fall of the regime. One hope, one dream, the fall of the regime. Let's give it a one more time. Holy cow. I will let this next speaker introduce herself. Because I've forgotten your name already.
Hi everybody, my name's Forrest. I'm here, I'm a teacher. I'm also a musician, although I wasn't brave enough to get the guitar out today because my fingers couldn't take it. I have some songs I want to share, but first I want to talk about St. Paul Public Schools and what it's been like. I have been in the school system for the past like 4 or 5 years since I came to St. Paul from South Dakota. And these kids are next level, the level of, and I just want to give the example of like, power is power. As a substitute teacher, you get a lot of like resistance of power, and these kids are strong, and I'm just really hoping that we can all connect to our inner defiance, our inner strength of resisting authority. Because it's not easy. I was raised to comply. I was raised to obey. I was raised to take my hard feelings to my room and come back out when I could keep a straight face. and be polite and kind. And that's not what kindness is, and that's what I've learned being in Minnesota, and I'm grateful for all of you for that. I want to echo what our first speakers said. The first couple about this regime is rotten. We have pedophiles in office.
Shame.
We have vulnerabilities to people in authority.
Shame. Shame.
And we have a lot of power too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Power to the people. I have a couple short songs I'd like to teach if people are open to singing again. The first one, the words are, it's simple, it's just, it is never too late, too late. It is never too late, too late. You can lay down this hate, this hate. You can join us, we'll wait, we'll wait. And I'll try to sing in the cold, I don't know. I'll do it a few times so you can jump in when you got it. It is never too late, too late. It is never too late, too late. You can lay down this hate, this hate. You can join us, we'll wait, we'll wait. It is never too late, too late. It is never too late, too late. You can lay down this hate, this hate. You can join us, we'll wait, we'll wait. Not sad. It is never too late, too late. It is never too late, too late. You can lay down this hate, this hate. You can join us, we'll wait, we'll wait. I have one more for you. This is also for those over there. It goes, how will you be remembered? How will you be remembered? When the bodies are counted and your job is over, how will you be remembered? How will you be remembered? How will you be remembered? When the bodies are counted and your job is over, how will you be remembered? How will you be remembered? How will you be remembered? When the bodies are counted and your job is over, how will you be remembered? How will you be remembered? How will you be remembered? When the bodies are counted and your job is over, how will you be remembered?
Thank you very much. Give me 1 second to set the stage a bit here for our next speaker.
Good afternoon. My name is Rob Mulford. From Chapter 146, Veterans for Peace, Fairbanks, Alaska. I came down to join you guys about a month and about 5 weeks ago. I came down and joined the Veterans for Peace Rapid Response Team. So Marie asked me to, when I came down, to write something about protective presence. This isn't what she expected, but I wrote it this way anyway. Protective presence, first chapter. Seeking a path to critical refinement, I chanced upon a mentor Antonio, his ink flowing, blood from Il Duce's dungeons. You're a product of history, he said. Find thyself in its infinite traces. Take inventory. Laboriously searching ledger in hand, I find myself present in the seedling of an empire. Midnight Manhattan, 1463. Refugee Lenape. Women, children, men, limbs hacked. Torsos impaled, sizzling, screaming, pyres light up the night. Freed black men till the scorched earth among ghosts unsettled. A 2,000-foot palisade, sharpened oak posts, separates white settlers from their crime scene, Wall Street. Mankato, Minnesota, 1862, 38, Dakota drops simultaneously from the white man's scaffold. Warrior souls driven to the earth, knee stretched necks cry out. Call us in prayer, we'll return. Hearing them, Lakota in holy shirts pray, dance, sing. Frightened white men, the white man replies, the tongue of mechanized gunfire. Bap, 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 bap. This land is our land. God's doctrine, discovery. Find out. Fuck around and find out. Denver City, 1864. Good citizens. How? Exterminate them. Exterminate them. At Sand Creek, 600. Cheyenne, Arapaho. Women, children, the aged, the infirm. Butchered. Breasts, genitalia. Souvenirs taken by Colorado's Bloody Third. Camped on the river of talking stones, and Osheti Sakoan cajoled. Wake up, my relatives, you the two-legged, you who walk on all four, you who fly through the sky, swim in the water, slither, creepy crawl. Come greet the sun, pray, give thanks, smoke to the four winds. Ask the Creator for strength. Stop the evil dapple black snake. As I stand near the abutment, prehistoric orbs bearing me witness from below the torrent, a burned out carcass, a military surplus truck barricades the bridge, speaking volumes. Before me, behind razor wire, men with automatic weapons, LRADs, bullhorns stand in fear. 300 women in prayer. Water protectors, water protector warriors, burning incense, threaten corrupted conscience, hegemony, national security. Antonio's infinite traces coalesced. My ledger confirmed a deficit in my incompleteness, my gangster of capitalism worldview shortcoming. The wretched of the earth have borne the brunt of my race's sins, inequity, insult, abuse, indifference, imperial war, ethnic cleansing, genocide. The oppressed have little need for my opinion. Their liberation precedes mine. To them I offer remittance, eyes, ears, tongue, hands, and heart to be paid on the front line of their liberation. My protective presence. Fuck ICE.
Welcome if you guys are just tuning in. We're live on Status.
Hi everybody, how y'all doing? I mean, how you really doing? Yeah. I have not the typical gulagging story and stuff like that. This one's maybe a little bit funnier. Some of you maybe know me for some of my shenanigans and stuff like that, and I think I just like to tell the story a little bit. Everybody's pretty familiar, I think, with Operation Dildo Blitz that happened here a little while ago. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Anyway, this whole dildo stuff, I've been pumping this shit for 6 months now. I'm pretty convinced once we start just chucking dicks at ICE, we fucking win, you know? And like when that's standard procedure and stuff. But anyway, I think I'm probably the first person to introduce dildo shenanigans here. And yeah, thank you, fan club, I guess. And how, I just like to walk you through how this started. First, it was actually a number of years ago on January 6th. My older brother, he was watching it on TV, and I was too, and we're talking, and he was like seeing all these Capitol Guards that are pretty restrained in their actions and stuff, and he was just like, those guys, like, man, they should just beat those rioters. They're just big ass fucking horse cocks. And then the entire fucking thing would be done. You know, the entire world would just laugh at all these people, and the entire movement would be done. Nobody would take them serious and stuff. And I heard that, and I was like, that's a genius fucking idea. That's a genius idea and stuff. Anyway, Trump gets reelected, right? And I'm like, last spring already, I was like, somebody's got to like start fucking chucking dicks or something, you know? And anyway, I got in touch with K10. I don't think she's here today. But she was like, hey, some of us starting a thing at the Whipple, and you seem a little bit radical, and you should come. I like your dildo ideas and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I think so. Yeah, sure. So anyway, I picked up a couple dicks, and then I started thinking about how I could be most effective with them and stuff. And I brought them down here, and not only did I bring them down here, but I thought, like, what would be the like most meaningful way I could maybe portray how fucking ridiculous this all is. And here, 1 second. Anyway, if you're wondering what the scene kind of looked like a little bit, here, just give me a second. Hot damn, I'll take the cash. Yeah, anyway, I thought it was like a good outfit for, you know, like waving some dicks around. Yo, this is one of the original ones. Yeah, anyway, we brought this over here, and I don't know if you ever brought like a couple fucking dicks to like a protest or something, especially when you're meeting new people. This was my first day at the Whipple, by the way. First fucking day. And I had these in my bag and stuff. And I told K10, hey, I got the dildos. I brought them and stuff. But I was extremely apprehensive about just pulling them out of the bag, you know? Like, who whips the dicks out when first meeting people and stuff, you know? And anyway, I opened my bag up, and then K10 and CM and Red Witch, they just grabbed the dicks and started fucking waving them in ICE agents' faces and stuff. They were flicking us off. It was really funny. Ha 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 ha. And you might think like that's the end of the story. Tell you what, keep these out. Did these stand up? Doing, whatever. Anyway. So, like, you might think, like, that's the end of the story or whatever, right? But no! At that time, all of this wasn't barricaded, and we went into the Whipple to bear witness to the court proceedings inside there. And, well, I had my backpack with dicks in it, And everybody else is like walking in, and I'm like, should I bring this shit back to my car or? And then, you know, I thought about it for a couple seconds, and I was like, this is a First Amendment right thing. This isn't like illegal. And so I was like, I'm gonna bring some dicks into the fucking courtroom. And how that went. Yeah, we went into the courthouse, and yeah, I took off my military jacket. They scan you, right? They got scanners and all that. I took off my military jacket. I put that up for the scanner. I put my backpack up there and stuff. And then I went through the metal detectors. And when I got through the metal detectors, you know, I'm just kind of like looking back and left a little bit. I got this like fucking shit-eating grin on my face. You know, it's like total schadenfreude. And I'm just like, oh boy, this is going to be good, this is going to be good, this is going to be good. And yeah, it was great. It was great. When the bag finally came through, you should have saw the security guy's face. He was just like, da 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 da, and then just, ugh. And then he was like, Mike, what do you want to do about this? Like, they're not exactly illegal, but can you beat somebody with those or something? And then, like, Mike looks at it, and he's just like, ugh. And in my head, I was thinking, pull them out. It'd be funny, right? Yeah, so anyway, I was hoping they would pull them out. They did not pull them out. They stayed in the bag. They stayed in the bag the entire time while I was in the Whipple. Keep that mental note for later. And then, yeah, Mike was like, just let him go. And so they sent the bag through, and then I put my jacket back on, and the guy who was handing me my bag back, he was like, are you going to a Lynx game later? You know, kind of a lesbian, bigoted statement and stuff. And I was like, no, these dicks are for the pleasure of the court. and then like, I went into the courtroom, and I just sat bearing witness to the court proceedings. They're all bullshit, by the way. And then the security, the DHS security there at that time, the judge actually asked them to stop coming into the courtroom because they just kept coming in, opening the door, coming in, checking on me because they were like, man, this guy's going to be like chucking dicks around the court or something, you know? And yeah, and I didn't. I just sat in there. I just sat in there with my bag with a couple dicks and like watched court proceedings, and then I went home, and I thought this would be the end of it, you know? But no, it wasn't. They got Christy Noem. I shit you not. This little like impromptu like dick joke I made. I shit you not. Like this news of this made it all the way to Christy freaking Noem. She got briefed that apparently there was a madman in a military uniform that brought a whole bag of dicks into the courtroom and just started chucking them around like a madman. And word of this got back to me. Eric told me and stuff, and about this individual doing these things, and I was like, that guy's like way braver than me, you know, like no way I'm chucking dicks around the courtroom and stuff. And yeah, and then so like Christy Noem got briefed about this stuff, and then they kicked out a memo. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a memo that banned dildos and sex toys and all that stuff from courtrooms. Not just, yeah, shame, right? Yeah, dicks should be allowed or something, right? Yeah, anyway, they're banned here, and they're banned, I guess, nationwide and stuff, all because of this, like, impromptu fucking dick joke I made. And anyway, I went home. This was very funny to me, as you could imagine. I was telling everybody I knew about it, and then, like, Operation Dildo Blitz came around and stuff, and I was like, hell fucking yeah, hell fucking yeah, hell fucking yeah, and whatnot. It felt like very vindication. Anyway, I I don't know exactly how to close this out. I got a bunch of good stories about punching Nazis and other things too, but I feel like I should probably let somebody else talk. But that's kind of, this was like the genesis of the dildo stuff around here. And if you really want to help me out, anytime you see them, just fucking start throwing a dick at them. Like, they desire to be taken seriously. And once you start throwing a dick at a person, it's not serious anymore. It's not serious. It's ridiculous. And so just fucking whip dicks at them and shit. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Hans Chicos. Yeah. All right. See ya. Thank you. It's a winery. No, actually, I don't want to. No, I'm cool. Yeah, actually, one of the dicks made it to the Ramsey County Museum the other day. So, yeah. So, anyway.
Everybody check into the stream. We're live today in the Whipple building here at Fort Snelling in Minnesota.
And I've got some stories. So I had never really interacted with the police before Brotex. Not really. And I had obviously never been pepper sprayed or tear gassed or any of the things that they unleashed on all of us. But that changed. I was pepper sprayed point blank at Brotex, and by the second raid at Rose Avenue, I knew to wear a helmet. That wasn't going to happen again. My lovely veteran friend over here had her foot run over, and the mayor saw it, and that took weeks to heal. Somehow she also still popped up at Rose Avenue, and I remember wandering around in the tear gas going, she shouldn't be here, where is she? And by mid-December, it was a good day if we weren't getting tear gassed. So it's just kind of a wild transition. I've talked to Human Rights Watch about what's going on in Minneapolis twice at this point, which is insane because I'm used to hearing about them in Syria and Sudan and war-torn countries. And now we're telling them about the experiences that we have had here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where we are supposed to be the land of the free, and pursuing our happiness is supposed to be a constitutional right, but instead we have to go face federal agents in the streets to stop them from taking our neighbors. Shame, that's right. I was on the scene when they took a man who had presented them already in a Somali neighborhood with his U.S. passport card. He had already presented it to them, and by the time I arrived, he was already in the vehicle. The community was not taking it, and the officers were not releasing the man. Someone even brought out a picture of the man holding his passport card, even though they had already showed him. And so I have that part on video of the going, look, he's a U.S. citizen, release him, and asking what they're doing, because they knew for a fact that they had a U.S. citizen in their vehicle. And his crime was being black and having come from Somalia at one point. Right, shame. What is this? How are we supposed to say that we welcome anyone from anywhere if when they go through the legal process and do it the right way, this is still how we treat people? And so I guess I'm just going to backtrack for a second. My first interaction with the Whipple here was back in August, and it was a very radicalizing moment. I protested outside, and then I went inside and I witnessed. And what I witnessed there was Judge Sardelli, who has a 78% denial rate. Shame. Say, bring in my dismissals. Point blank, kangaroo court. And then there was an ICE agent in the court. No one's allowed to use their phone, but the ICE agents are, even though they're in plain clothes. You know, you can't tell who they are, clearly. So the ICE agent stands up and goes, can you add this one too to the DHS lawyer? And the DHS lawyer and the judge agree that they'll add that one too to the dismissals on the spot. Shame. And then they brought in, I don't remember, 5 or 6 brown men in their 20s and 30s and sat them down. And one by one, they dismissed the cases. And they had the people that had been witnessing before me, because I was definitely not the first. And there are still people going in there doing this incredible work. So thank you to them. But they said that this was the most ICE presence that they had seen in the court. And so there were probably 10 visible ICE agents, plain clothes, but you knew who they were. And there were 5 or 6 of them waiting in a clump at the end of the hallway. And they took them one by one in the hallway after their cases were dismissed. Shame. I watched a couple of cases, and then I realized that I was the closest observer to the door and agreed with the other observers that I would follow this one out. And one of the other people gave me a card from an organization, MIRAC. Please support them. They are doing amazing work. They gave me a card that said, if your case has been dismissed, you may be detained outside of the courtroom, and asked for information like their date of birth, a contact, and their phone number. So I gave that card to the gentleman, and he wrote down his information. His wife was there. He talked to his wife. And one of the incredible people from MIRAC who could speak Spanish spoke to him and wrote their number on his arm so that he could have a contact on the way out. The ICE has had an agreement with the people in the actual courtroom area that they wouldn't go into the waiting rooms to detain people. They would wait until they came out into the public hallway. And so we were just talking to him and his wife and trying to prepare him for what was about to happen in the hallway. And the ICE agents and DHS officers were verbally pushing us out into the hallway so that they could hurry this up. Shame, yes. And so when we got out there, there were still chairs in the waiting room. They took those out and made the observers watch after I sat down and said this is a public hallway and refused to leave that space at one point. I don't know that's why they took them out, but a couple days later they made the observers watch them take them out. So, but there were several observers sitting there. They saw what was about to happen, and many people stood up. So there were probably 10 to 15 people at this point walking with this man and his wife. And we all just surrounded him and walked with him. And just surgically, the ICE agents came up, they put their hand out and they went, sir, his name, you're coming with us. And they grabbed him by the arm. And you know, when someone extends their hand to you to shake your hand, it's just a natural reaction to do it. So that's just how they learned to surgically, peacefully take people. And so, yes, shame. And this was all the way back in August that they were doing this in the hallways, right here at the Whipple building. And so they still took him. One of the other observers asked if he could kiss his wife goodbye, and 3 of them turned around at the same time and said no. Yeah. He came to his hearing. He was a student of 6 years. And he asked for a visa. They said there were no visas available. He asked for asylum. They said that they wouldn't grant him asylum, and then they took him in the hallway and they wouldn't even let him kiss his wife goodbye for doing it the right way. So what are we doing here? Because this isn't about getting rid of illegal immigrants. This isn't about getting rid of criminals or the worst of the worst. This is about separating families and causing harm and showing the rest of the world that we don't want them here. And that's wrong, because we are them. We are all one people. Something that astronauts recognize when they go up to space universally is they look down and they say there are no lines, there are no borders. And we as human beings need to recognize that. Migration has happened for every animal species forever, and we are animals, and we should be able to roam freely. We shouldn't be separating families for just living or being born in the wrong place. And for just saying things like that, you will be targeted. For just showing up and observing, you will be targeted. And I know that we say that we have constitutional rights, but that only matters if we actually have them in practice. I promise I'm not going to talk too much longer. But something that happened to me and happened to a lot and has happened to a lot of other observers that a lot of people are talking about, but people don't want to say out loud because they don't want to draw more attention to themselves, is the amount of observers that are having ICE agents follow them home. The amount of observers that are being led to the addresses that their plates are registered at. People having ICE agents show up, sit in the middle of intersections, and turn on their lights so that they're blaring in their windows. In Richfield on December 7th, we had vehicles doing operations, just observing, mobily observing. And one of the vehicle that I was in, we attempted to follow them into Roosevelt Park, but we realized immediately that it had one entrance and one exit. Please never put yourself in that situation. Be aware of your surroundings. So we realized that they had joined another ICE vehicle. So we turned around and we went out, but we didn't totally not pursue. We ended up behind them again. They followed us and then we followed them, and they ended up going down a street that we were unsure about, but we made the decision to go down because it was a T and there were exits you could turn either way at the other end. And so we followed the agents down it. And at the end of that street, there was another ICE vehicle waiting, parked. And the ICE vehicle that we had been following turned around with no lights and no sirens and drove the wrong way down the street, forcing us to back up all the way down the street into another ICE vehicle that they had waiting to come up behind us and box us in. At that point, all of the ICE agents from all three vehicles, probably 8 plus, exited their vehicles, and one of them got out with a rifle pointed at our heads. He had his finger on the trigger. I have this on video. I looked down the barrel of the rifle, and he was shaking. This is who we're giving guns to. We're giving guns to people who are taking out their rifles and pointing them at people with their fingers on the trigger as they shake terrified of phones and megaphones and whistles. Shame. At this point, we have had an ICE whistleblower come out and say that they are graduating everyone. That even if they fail their tests, they are graduating them. The people that are being put on our streets are dangerous by any measure. And what happened to me was exactly 1 month before Renee Good was killed. Can we say her name? Renee Good? Renee Good. And a week later, there was Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy? Alex Preddy. And there are so many more. We will continue learning of them. There are still people missing. There are still Native people missing from the tribes around here who have not been returned. So, yes, return our relatives, return our neighbors, return everyone you have taken. The cities, around here, we are missing about 3,000 people since November. We are missing around 3,000 people. So please don't forget what's going on. And just because they're changing tactics and moving out to the suburbs, just because they may start hitting another city, don't lose focus and don't remember what they did to us and what they will continue to do as long as they exist. Abolish ICE. Abolish ICE. Love you guys.
Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk briefly about the Department of Homeland Security. DHS, shame, first of all. DHS needs to be abolished alongside ICE. That's right. DHS is a terrorist organization that exists for the explicit purpose of doing harm onto our communities and our neighbors and our relatives. DHS operates off of the principal strategy of prevention through deterrence. Across all of their operations, they have the logic of the more violent and the more cruel, the more unlikely it is that people will break the law. At the border, this means funneling immigrants to desert crossing zones in Arizona where temperatures are lethal during the day and the night. They are attempting to prevent immigration into the country by funneling people into the most deadly quarter of the desert. Tom Homan is the border czar right now under Trump. He's been in office since the Obama era. While he worked for President Obama, he proposed the family separation policy. This is a measure that causes prevention through deterrence by pulling parents away from their children. The logic is if we separate families, they will not want to come to this country. Obama said that would work, but it's a little too violent for us, and gave Tom Homan a medal for outstanding achievement in his field. Tom Homan continued to serve in DHS through the Obama presidency. In the first era of the Trump regime, he proposed family separation again, and it was enthusiastically picked up by the administration. Trump, with open hands, accepted the idea that families of immigrants could be torn apart as a way of keeping them out of this country. Guess who kept that policy in place? Joe Biden. Family separation was law of the land under both a Republican and a Democrat president. We've arrived in the present moment now. Tom Homan is here in Minnesota, the father of the family separation policy, enacting this criminal legislation against our neighbors and our relatives. They have one goal, that is to deter us. They want us to go home, they want us to live in fear, and they want us to look the other way as they take our friends off the streets. Are we going to be deterred? No! Are we going to be deterred? No! No. I'd like to offer you one more story. I was on patrol in my neighborhood, walking with a couple of my friends, and a squad car from the Minneapolis Police Department pulled up behind me and flashed their sirens. The three of us turned around, we assumed it was about us, and we observed a tent placed against a fence along the side of a property in Minneapolis. The police were there to sweep one of our unhoused neighbors from their encampment on one of the coldest days in the winter. They sat in their squad car for 2.5 hours and waited for him to come back so they could arrest him, take all of his property, and immediately place it into a garbage collector. This is what Minneapolis police are doing while we keep our neighborhoods safe. For 2.5 hours, they sat in their heated squad car and waited for my unhoused neighbor to return to his one place of refuge so they could place him in jail. The police, DHS, ICE, and politicians are working to create a system of mass incarceration that will cause enormous profit. Guess what? They're not happy right now. They're not making enough money. Civic Group and GeoCore, the private prison companies profiting off of Operation Metro Surge, have given orders to leadership to increase the numbers of detentions they're making so that more people can be in prison and they can make even more money. They have plans to expand. There are 23 warehouse properties currently being funded by the U.S. Navy that will be converted into short-term detention facilities. These have capacity of up to 10,000 people. Think about this. This is the end goal of Operation Metro Surge and ICE terror across the country. To place as many people behind bars as possible so we can milk them for every penny. So they can deter us from going out into the street and taking action out of fear that we will be rounded up and placed into ramshackle tent prisons. But we can stop this. We've already stopped this. The numbers are not high enough. They are, even though 4,000 of our neighbors have been deported since the start of Operation Metro Surge, they want more. They're hungry for profit, and we say no. This will not stand. You do not get to incarcerate our neighbors. You do not get to profit off of your campaign of terror. And are we going to be deterred? No! Are we going to be deterred? No! Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Thank you.
Okay, everybody, we're live at Fort Snelling in Minnesota.
Hi. Some of you might know me as Sherry. I just want to say, in regards to the last speaker, when we talk about abolition, we talk about it as regards to the police. Because from the abolition of slavery until now, our police forces have only existed to incarcerate people for profit. That's exactly what ICE is doing still. This is unrelated to what I was going to say, but I know some people are very close to understanding this, and I need you to hear this. from the beginning of the abolition of slavery. That is the only reason our prison system has existed the way it is. Okay, so I wrote a song. I'm new here. I moved here from Florida along with a lot of other people a few years ago when a lot of other states became very dangerous for people to live in. And I've loved this place. I wasn't sure if I was going to stay here forever. I went to a town hall meeting and Representative Ilhan Omar was there, and I was shocked and surprised to see her in an open public space with very little security, just out in the city. Because where I'm from, politicians don't talk to you. They don't represent you. And for the first time, I felt represented. And there was a heckler there. And she handled it so gracefully. But it was the response from the crowd that really moved me. They didn't scream, they didn't yell, they didn't boo even. A bunch of women, all in unison without discussing it, just hissed all together. And it made me think of a Tracy Chapman song talking about a revolution. She says that it sounds like a whisper. So when we lost Alex and when we saw Liam get taken, and I want to remind people that there were 7 other children in his school, some of whom are still in Dilley. And a lot of those children who were separated during the Obama and Biden and the first Trump regime, they never got returned to their families. I wrote this song because I was angry, and I needed to say that. So I'm hoping, I'm not a very good singer, I'm hoping that some of you might want a copy, and maybe you can help me bring it to some noise protest or people who are actually good at singing. It's a duet. But I'm going to sing it so you can hear it. All right. Masked men came to our city. They said they came here for crime. They killed our healer and took our kids. Now we will never let them rest. That sound will follow you wherever you go, with cries of shame and the sound the whistle blows. You can take it up with God and she'll refer you to hell, but that sound will follow you down below.
Noise protest tomorrow. Get it ready.
Okay, guys, we got continued coverage here on Status Quo News and Mercado Media. It's a privilege to be providing news coverage for you guys today.
Hello. I am a very at-risk person, so I'm not going to be saying my name. But I use she, her pronouns, and I am a trans woman. Since the beginning of everything that's been going on, I have been terrified for myself, for my trans brothers, sisters, my non-binary friends. My heart breaks every day for my dark-skinned trans friends. I have immigrant trans friends, and I worry about what could happen to them. I've been shot with rubber bullets, I've been tear gassed, all the standard stuff. But you may or may not believe this, but ICE agents really like to harass trans people. I've had more handcuffs and guns flashed at me than I feel like anybody should have, which, I mean, that is one, but I think about what would happen if I didn't live in Minnesota. If I was somewhere else where I didn't have all of these brave rapid responders, all this mutual aid, all these patrollers, and because of people like you, the trans community has been able to continue to thrive. I've been out at parties, I've been out at bars, everyone's still out there. They want to scare us, but they can't scare us. Because we protect us.
Got your back.
Thank you. When I look at all of you, I see the best, the brightest, the most compassionate, caring people. I see Alex Preddy, I see Renee Nicole Good, people who put themselves in the line of fire and they paid the ultimate price for their neighbors. no pay, no reward, just because it's the right thing to do. And maybe it's wrong to say I'm a native Minnesotan because this isn't our land. These belong to the Dakota people. But I've lived here all my life, and I've never been more honored to say that I'm a Minnesotan. And I just want all of you to know that you are America's best, and I'm gonna cry. I would be, so many of my brothers, sisters wouldn't be here. We would have been snatched off the street. My dark-skinned friends, my indigenous friends, on behalf of everybody, thank you all so much. You are some of the best people that I can call my community, and it's truly an honor. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Hi, it's really amazing to be here and special and wonderful despite like the most horrendous of circumstances. This open mic is the beginning of the Melt the Ice Week of Action, woo! Which is really, really amazing. We are kicking off what is going to be such a powerful week. Our enemy is retreating. Right? They're leaving. And so when they go on the defense, we go on the offense to kick them out. There is a series of demands that this week is fighting for, and I want to read them, and I want you all to chant them back to me so we are grounded in why we are here and what we are going to win. These demands are only a start of the better world we deserve, but they're the bottom shelf, so that's what we fight for now. So first, we are arguing ICE out of Minnesota right now. ICE out now! ICE out now! ICE out now! ICE out now! More ICE out now! Let's go. We've had a few thousand of them out. It seems like there's 500-ish left. This is a victory of the people. Of course, it's too many. Yep, we want them all out. Every single one out. And wherever they go next, we want them out of there as well. Yep. The second demand is release all of our abducted neighbors and close all detention camps. Release our neighbors! Release our neighbors! Close all camps! Close all camps! Release our neighbors! Release our neighbors! Close our camps! Close our camps! Yes, that's right. Everyone who's been abducted should be walking free like we are. And every concentration camp should be closed. Yeah. Next, we want a statewide eviction moratorium by March 1st. Stop evictions now! 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 We know thousands of our neighbors have not been able to pay rent because they have not been able to work. Any rent is too much rent. Like, abolish rent. Any rent is too much rent. But in the meantime, we need an eviction moratorium. If you have not pledged to do the rent strike on March 1st, if you have not pledged that yet, you need to Google Twin Cities Tenants Union and fill out the pledge to strike your rent. Who's filled out that pledge? I have. Oh, come on. Okay, y'all have some work to do. Get on that. I know it's scary, and we're going to do it together. And there's a little birdie that says the government's not very happy about the threat. So, yes, eviction moratorium by March 1st. Next, we call to drop all charges against ICE resistors. Woo! Drop the charges! Drop the charges! Drop the charges! Hundreds of protesters and activists and resistors have gotten taken by ICE and gotten taken by MPD and given misdemeanors and felonies simply for demanding the release of our neighbors, simply for standing up to our communicators. That's messed up. We need charges gone. That's people here who probably have charges. That's our neighbors who have charges. Those should be dropped. Next, we have amnesty for all immigrants. Let's see if this is chantable. Amnesty for all! Amnesty for all! There we go. Amnesty for all! Amnesty for all! Amnesty for all! Amnesty for all! Just let our immigrants' neighbors be here. Yeah! I don't care if their immigration is legal or whatever. That's bullshit. Right! No one's illegal. No one's illegal. My ancestors were immigrants. Yes! Right? Just let our neighbors be here. We love them. Yeah. Yeah. And finally, we are calling for abolition of ICE, abolition of the DHS, abolition of the police, and abolition of prisons. Let's see. How about we'll do abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! And maybe fuck 12! Fuck 12! Fuck 12! We know these agencies are interconnected. We've seen MPD support deportations. We need all of them gone. All of them. We keep us safe. You all know that. These agencies only exist to hurt our immigrant neighbors and to hurt everything and to protect private property and to protect the ruling class and to make a profit, and that's bullshit. Yeah. We don't just want ICE out of Minnesota. That's cute, that's sweet, that's a victory of the people. It's a start. But we don't want them out just to go to another city and terrorize another city. We want them gone. Gone. Yes. So that is what we are fighting for this week of action. Those 6 things, these 6 things are only a start. And so we need you all to keep joining us. There is political education happening at some welcome centers around the cities. And there is an amazing action calendar this week. This is the start. Tomorrow there's a rally at the Capitol. On Friday, there's a student sit-in also at the Capitol Rotunda. There is a worker-led march downtown going to some corporate targets. On Saturday, we're going to drive up to the Sherburne County Jail because while detainees are being held here, they're also being held up at Sherburne, and we want to slow operations down there. And on Sunday morning, we are going to do a mass march here. And we are going to do that in the name of decolonization, right? We're going to do that because it's the same shit. It was Dakota concentration camps here in the 1800s, the same shit. And we need thousands of people if we are going to maybe shut it down. So thank you all. Thank you for being here. We are so powerful. I'm so inspired by every single one of you all the time. And we are going to keep fighting, and we are going to abolish ICE.
So I've never led this before, but I'm looking around, and what a wonderful opportunity that we all have to speak some words together. So if you have been around for a while, just closing it out with the chant. We have a duty, so repeat after me. We have a duty to fight for our freedom. We have a duty to fight for our freedom. We have a duty to win. We have a duty to win. We must love and support one another. We must love and support one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have a duty to fight for our freedom. We have a duty to fight for our freedom. We have a duty to win. We have a duty to win. We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our
We
chains.
have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to win.
We have a duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
One more time. We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
We have a duty to win.
We have a duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our
We
chains.
have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our
All
chains.
power to the people.
Yeah, just tuning in. We're live at the Whipple Building in Fort Snelling. There's an open mic community day here. Live on the ground, guys. Been live on the ground. Status Quo News for the past 3 months. Mercado Media as well. Support independent media, contributing to the channel if you guys could.
I've never open mic'd before, but I do really like holding a mic.
You got it.
Usually it's not something I had to choose myself. This is something that came to me actually back in November, not so far from here, at a grief circle that a few beloved friends called on Thanksgiving Day. But I didn't get it down on paper until January 9th. Confluence. Cold, bright morning, an icy dusting in the night shows the tracks of all the neighbors we can't find time for this week. Rabbit, squirrel, opossum. Our attention is held instead by the tracks of an occupying swarm of agents, meaning doers, meaning just doing our job, and the neighbors on their trail, vigilant, and the neighbors locked indoors, terrified. The Dakota people have known this place as Bedote, a place where 2 rivers combine, a confluence, the birthplace of the world. And we settlers have our story of arrival, of violence, starvation, extermination. Our people, lament my pale-faced beloveds, desecrated this place that was so sacred. Listen carefully to that lament. A trap is set here. 2 stories. We came, we saw, we conquered. And also, this is a place of confluence, the birthplace of the world. Step delicately today, beloveds, not backward, but forwards, out of one story into the other. Watch your feet. It has a hairpin trigger. Now listen. Bedote is where we've made our home. Whatever arrives, arrives to be brought into the flow, including us, including them. Whatever knowing swirls under our feet isn't shaken by acts of 500 years, of 163 years of this past wretched week. Here is a place of confluence, of birthing. Don't expect no pain. Await new breath. It is a terrifying gift to be alive today. Bodies made of water drawn from Hahawakpa. Hearts of rage and fear and grief. Laboring. But we came here for a reason, didn't we? To Minneapolis.
Hello, everybody. I didn't prepare a speech. I wasn't planning on coming up here. I just want to share some of the things that I've had to deal with personally with ICE and my family. Starting since January, we've been out here peacefully protesting, neighborhood watch. I'm Indigenous and Mexican, and ICE has chased me down in my neighborhood, 6 of them. And it was just extremely scary. They told me if they see me out there again, they're gonna arrest me and detain me for impeding investigations because I honked my horn at them. Me and my daughter were driving on the freeway and saw ICE, and we honked at them, and they sprayed us with pepper spray on the freeway. Another incident, they've arrested my husband, who is Caucasian, multiple times for protecting his family and being out here peacefully protesting. Another incident just 2 weeks ago, we were in the neighborhood again, and they pulled out a gun. We have all this documented, we have it all on video, and this is just the stuff that me and my family are still dealing with daily, but we're still out here fighting. We are not going to give up. We are not going to back down. It is dangerous, and I just hope that everybody is going to stay fighting with all of us. Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE!
All right. This is pretty impromptu as well. Hi, everybody. My name is Nate Wendt. I've been organizing with EWOC, that's the Emergency Workplace Organizing Committee, and DSA Labor in various forms since 2022. I'm from Northeast South Dakota, and first off, I want to thank everybody in the community and whatever group and form that brought you here for being out here, because it takes every single one of us. We each have different talents and abilities. If you're not sure, you just come out and find something. There's something that you can do. I also want to talk about connections quick that make the world a small place. Because like I said, I'm from South Dakota. I drove in this morning, and already being at Whipple, I met several people from all over the country that all came in to break bread and commune with Minneapolis community. Speaking of connections, small world, you see I'm wearing my keffiyeh today. This is from a small shop in Jericho. And that reminds me, small world. In the past couple of years, working in mutual aid support for Palestinians, there's one particular family of 11 with a medical observer by the name of Asma, who we've been very close with, to the point where when it came to Christmas with the family, I would be giving my family updates on how Asma and her family were doing, and getting all the extended relatives to show up to donate to her campaign or somebody else's. And this has been going on since October 2023. Now, unfortunately, last November, my mother, who was a school teacher, passed away. And this is where the small world comes in. I wasn't out broadcasting my pain on that. I didn't make any posts saying my mom died. But within a day, in the midst of bombing and starvation of her family and entire community, Asma reached out to give condolences that her friend had lost his mother. So that's a message of condolence in the middle of a genocide coming from Deir al-Balah all the way to Midwest South Dakota. Now, who would have thought those two would have ever connected? Now, we don't have that much distance here with people coming from across the nation in to help. So, it should be a lot easier from meeting people. You know, every conversation is an opportunity for us to break bread, make new connections, share the load while we're here, and take a lot home to our communities. I don't want to keep it too long. We give a fuck ICE? Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE? Fuck ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! All right. Thank you. Love you all.
We are live at the Whipple building at Fort Snelling in Minnesota. It is open mic day, community day, to reflect on Operation Metro Surge, live on Status Quo News and Mercado Media.
I hate public speaking. Never have liked it. But my fear, this is bigger than my fear.
That's right.
And I want to apologize because before I got out here physically and I saw on TV what was happening, I was terrified to come out here. I didn't come out here. I went to the marches, I delivered groceries, I did what I could, but I did not come out here. And it made me angry that I was too scared to come out here. My brother works for the Minneapolis Park Department system. His friend, who's completely legal, has disappeared. They took him, they've been helping the family, but they don't know where he is. They still don't know where he is. Shame. And I can't imagine having that happen to somebody in my family. And this has been something that has even kind of divided in my own family. My parents are old Catholic, traditional parents. They care, they love, they try to help people any way they can. The first day I came out here and they knew I was out here, they were mad at me. My mom, I'm ashamed to say this, but my mom said to me, "Why are you inserting yourself into something that doesn't dissolve you?" And I know she didn't mean to hurt me in a way that she did. But I said, how can you say this doesn't involve me? Yeah, they're after immigrants, but 2 people that have been killed look like me. So I don't know how this doesn't involve me. I don't know how this doesn't involve anyone. I'm an EMT working on my paramedic degree. Thank you. And seeing what I was seeing on the news, I couldn't believe it was in my neighborhoods. So I got the balls to come out here on a Sunday. And I was met by Ricky on the corner. And I told him, I just came out here for the first time I've been too scared. He says, "Don't worry, I got you. I'll let you know if anything's going down." That was 3 weeks ago and I've been here every day since. Thank you. And I've also run into several people who've come from different states to learn what we're doing. And I don't know what to tell them. I sit here and I yell "fuck you" like all day long. Right? But we have been told, I have been told by our state board as a paramedic that if we get involved, we are screwed. They will not come help us. We risk our license. But I still would help somebody if I had the chance.
Thank you.
And I've been afraid of where this is going. Seeing the lies, we're ramping down, we're leaving the buildings empty. Only 5 hours later, 20 people are released. Why are you lying to our faces when we're here? What was the point of lying? Just to show that you are lying and you can't be trusted? Because how does that make sense? And my last point is, I have a golden retriever, Rosie. She's a crisis animal response dog. She responds, she's 12 now, so she's almost retired, but we respond to when terrible things happen, we've gone out. She's big on the high school Stoneman Douglas mass shooting. We were out there for weeks to bring comfort to the family.
I have had ICE parked outside my house now because I delivered groceries. I've stopped doing that because I have almost led them directly to people we are trying to help. We have purchased a separate car, and my 19-year-old son is now doing the grocery deliveries while I am here. Yes. My dog can no longer go to the bathroom in the front yard. We have found hot dogs with rat poison in them. So I have had neighbors texting me saying there's a car parked outside your yard. I'm like, yep, don't worry about it. But their main tactic is fear. And I am here to say I am sorry and I am ashamed that it kept me away from here for so long.
Can't be everywhere.
I wish I would have been here in the beginning. I did. And my parents still don't understand why I come out here every day. They said one person doesn't make a difference. And I said if everyone said that, we wouldn't have 40 people out here every day. So while you may think you feel small, you're just one person, but us, one people, create this. That's it. Thank you.
Hey guys, I also was not planning on speaking, but was struck by some things and figured I'd share. Let me see here. Yeah, my name is Ian Austin, veteran of 6 combat deployments to Afghanistan. I've recently become intimate friends with DHS, the FBI, and Pam Bondi. And I got a little story that, I don't know, just sort of came to me, so I'm just going to go with it. Which is doing Bible study. I was raised Christian and in Afghanistan doing Bible study. And something that was very different for me versus at least all of the other guys in this Bible study group was I was under this belief, I guess because of how I was raised, and that we're at war with these people, but if somebody in their heart believes what they're doing in their heart of hearts is right, how could we judge them? How could God judge them? How could they go to hell, right? And I am like, how am I any different than these people that we're fighting against, that they're raised to believe this is the most honorable thing you can do? And I'm here thinking, oh, I'm doing this honorable thing. Turns out I fucking wasn't. It wasn't honorable. But how are we any different? And that always really stuck with me, because what I received back was, no, these people are evil and we're killing them and they're going to hell. And I didn't quite sit right with me. And so I feel like it's the same thing that now, right? It's bad othering. These others are separate from us. They are the problem. We need to get rid of, we need someone to blame for our issues. But we're the fucking same. We're all the fucking same. Yeah, so that's what we're seeing right now, right? With our black, brown, indigenous neighbors being terrorized, right? What, as I understood it, they sent us, right? Like, we're calling this terrorism, and these people are terrorizing their people, and you're sending us to war under the auspices of that, and the same shit is happening here now? Like, it's hard for me to fucking wrap my brain around. But my message is that we're the same, and when that came to me, I thought, oh, you know what? I've written a poem about this, so let me see if I can remember it. The opposite of love is indifference. We look at the same things and see something different. Projecting reality, never taught how to be, taking it out on we. We're partly unique and we are the same. That's duality, the part that makes us human. It's hardly just me, yeah, we all go through it. Hard to live life until you start to lose it. Each heart beats, only separate in name. I another you and you another me, see. We are the same.
Hello. I flew up from Tampa last night because I had to be here. Something I just wanted to make clear. I've met people from all over the country in just the morning that I've been here. And somehow or other, without any formal media or any formal announcements, the whole nation knows what's happening up here. And what we're doing today, what I see today, and what I'm going to see this week, is going to spread across this country. In Tampa, we have a migrant community. It's called Homosassa, and the Immokalee migrant workers, and I've delivered food to their doors, and they won't even open their door until we're leaving because they think that we're delivering food to entrap them. We always thought it was our problem. We had to protect our neighbors there in Tampa. And we didn't think that California or Texas or Minnesota knew what our problems were and were willing to fight for us. What I see happening today is this is so well organized and there's so much heart that's been put into this that this is going to spread nationwide. And this is the beginning of a unified fight across the whole nation. We are going to change this country.
All right, thank you. We've got just a couple more speakers here, and we've actually got some music up for you next. Oh, yeah.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Could this mic come down a little bit? I'm trying to think of it. That's pretty good tonally. Hi, everybody. Hello. My name's Roland. I know some of you, I'm familiar with this building. The mic went all the way down.
Oh, shoot. Nope, I pushed the wrong thing. Hold on.
Oh, we're waiting for the mic to fix, guys. We're live on Status Quo News. We're live on Mercado Media. Been live on the ground for the past 3 months.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of stuff has happened. A lot of stuff has happened to me. The people I know, people I love and have grown to love, people that I live near, people I live with. I was born in Minnesota. I love this place. I love it more and more every day. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It's hard, isn't it? Like, who lives here and is like struggling? Literally everybody. It's super weird. We all know about it. Oh, if I walk, is this like some type of like feedback matrix? What? Okay. Hold on just a second. How loud is it gonna be? Just wait, turn it up. Turn it up. Should I slam it? Keep it up, keep it up, keep it high. Should I slam it? Put that up, put that all the way up. I'm gonna slam it. I'm gonna slam it. I made this song, I didn't even think anyone was gonna listen to it. It's kind of about like, the first couple lyrics are about like, oh, storming the Whipple or something. Like, hypothetically, just kind of an inference to be drawn from the lyrics. Okay, I made this song like a month ago, so my vocals are on it already, so, but okay, let's see. Wait, it's doubling. It's delaying, I heard that. Do you know? Okay, it's still doubling. It was still doubling. Do you... Yeah, we got this. Okay, that's it. That sounded like it's one take. Okay. Go up.
You sure you don't want that?
No, we can hear in the background.
But he's okay, and he's got help, so. Good. Thank you for doing that. Of course. What outlet are you guys with?
Mercado Media and Status Quo. And then it's everybody next. Fall like Jericho and autumn branches bear his bony yet. You can stand for all or you can sit for you alone. Another Minnesota winter, cold and hard and bright like home. Jesus speaking to the heart like the receiver on the phone. Healing soul is like a song because the first step is a tone. May unity please hear me invoked in every moan and every tear from every eye and every cry from every stone. The light of the world, the light shows darkness as we know. Love your enemy, although they try to take away our home. Try to take away our home. And they kill.
Just tuning in, we're about to talk to a gentleman here who helped start the Operation Dildo Blitz.
No, I didn't.
Well, you helped. You didn't help like the genesis of it all, like the idea of it all.
Is it on?
It is. Like, let's have you stand in the sun so that people can see it. There you go. All right. Well, first introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm a Hans Chikos. I'm a U.S. military veteran, combat veteran. Served in Afghanistan. I'm an Eagle Scout.
Let's give it up one more time.
I'm a farmer. I own a vineyard and winery. I'm multilingual. I'm a dad, a husband, many things.
What inspired you to get involved? I mean, you're a veteran. Thank you so much for your service and everything you've done for this country. But what inspired you to get involved in the protest movement or just, pushing back against this administration?
I took an oath. Same as any veteran and stuff. I swore to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. I take that oath seriously. And the administration is kicking all of our rights on a very regular basis, on a daily basis. My wife is from Hungary. She's an immigrant. She has been under threat. My workers are Ukrainian war refugees. They all had their homes bombed to shit and stuff. They came here. I taught them all English. I taught a lot of them how to drive. I taught them a profession. And all of them are under threat too. And that is all just so untenable to me. It's a threat to them, it's a threat to my business, it's a threat to everything I'm doing. And like I said, it's also in just complete violation of the Constitution. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
What are some of the things that you've been seeing on the ground during Operation Metro Surge? What have you witnessed personally?
During this time, we still need responders, we still need people in the streets, we still need events like this
yeah,
to
just
remind ourselves
DHS, ICE,
of what we're in this fight for. But this is a bit of an opportunity too to
being jerks, just being complete unconstitutional jerks, shoving people around, not using warrants, violating people's rights. They are a completely unaccountable, secret police force that's only accountable to the president. They're disappearing people into what Fox News coins as gulags, and I would agree with that. People go in there and a lot of them disappear. Some of them get deported, some of them get released. There's a lot of people that just disappear. And all of that is untenable. I personally witnessed the court proceedings in the Whipple building before, when you could go do that. And even those court proceedings, it just seemed like a joke. This was not due process. And that's what's going on. They're not affording due process to anyone they're nabbing. They're not affording it in the courts. And all of this is just
come on, this is not the way.
What do you think happens from here? What do you expect from this administration? We just had the State of the Union last night. I don't know if you took time to even give it your time, but if you did, what do you expect comes next now?
I didn't see the State of the Union. What comes next? I think this just keeps going until we abolish ICE. ICE is now a haunted organization, the same as the Gestapo. The Gestapo are gone in Germany, of course, right? They do not use that term for police, for anyone. It's a haunted term, and the same thing exists with ICE now. It now has a haunted history. And immigration and customs kind of enforcement and stuff, that has to happen. We have to regulate our country and stuff. But this organization has a haunted history. This organization has to be done, and there has to be something else started in its place under the rules and following the laws and the Constitution, all the stuff we want. You know, and so I think we keep pushing until that happens, and how long that takes, I don't know, but we keep pushing anyway.
As a veteran, have you noticed a difference in standards between when you served this country, and what you're seeing from these federal agents? Are you seeing a difference?
Yeah, they're a bunch of jokers, man. Like, these guys are so undisciplined. They're a bunch of jokers. It's a bunch of people that couldn't make it in the police or the military going around now with all the fucking vehicles they want, all the fucking guns they want, all the authority they want. There's no accountability. And when you get all the people that would just fail at all this other stuff and you give them all that power, authority, guns, what do you think's going to happen? They're going to start shooting people on the streets, start arresting people who shouldn't be arrested, beating people, gassing people, all kinds of just, again, untenable shit.
What's it been like right now in Minnesota? Obviously, it's cold. Let's just be honest with the viewers. It's cold again. We had a false spring. Is this a false ICE out? Is ICE really leaving? Are you seeing ICE leave, as Tom Homan said was going to happen?
No, from what I see, they're still around, like plenty still around. If there's a drawdown, I'm not personally, like, on the ground. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it on the ground. They're still carrying out the gulagging, same as they always have. And if you take a look and you search for a few vehicles, these ones with the missing front plates, these out-of-state back plates, these heavy tinted windows, sometimes they got guys in them with masks on and stuff. If you take a look around for those kinds of people, these vehicles and stuff, yeah, you still see them plenty around. They're not gone. There's, if anything, the operations, they may be like, oh, we're out of the Twin Cities, right? Yeah, they're just decentralizing. They're moving to Edina, they're moving to Minnetonka, they're moving to Anoka, Elk River. They're just decentralizing, and they're going super incognito and shit. And that's actually a lot of our work is finding them.
And that's what I've noticed too. Yeah, from reporting on everything that's been going on, I've had to adjust, and it looks like they've gone from the cities to the suburbs. What are some things that people in the suburbs should be aware of, maybe or like even in the rural areas? They've been watching as well, but how can we support the efforts in the rural areas and places that ICE is now targeting as they've changed their tactics?
If you say that sentence
that's actually a question that I've been pondering a lot, because I am from a rural area. I'm a farmer. I live an hour and a half west of here, and I live out in the sticks. And generally speaking, Trump tends to have much more support in the rural areas. It's amazing how much that is declining currently, but he still holds sway. You know, I'm from Meeker County. Meeker County voted 82% toward Trump last election. So I'm like living in like middle of like fucking Nazi Central. But even out by me, so many people still find this just ridiculous, and we can't, this is not the way. Even they know that. But as far as getting a mobilized force to patrol, to scout, to to all this infrastructure of resistance that we have here in the cities, yeah, that doesn't really exist out in the sticks. And that's not a thing that I have a super clear answer on at the moment. It's a thing like we got to work on.
Absolutely. I would have to agree with that. What keeps you coming out here like right now? I mean, it is now we're almost in March now. It's at the end of February. We've been going for 3 months. You know, some of us are tired, and you might be tired, but you keep coming out here. It's cold, like I said, it's cold. What keeps you coming out here in this specific moment, like right now?
Well, I'm pretty at home in the cold, so I don't mind the cold part. Actually, I was praying. No, I shit you not. I was praying for just the worst winter ever, like unbearable winter, like so cold and like, yeah, and just staying until they just freaking leave. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I think spring's going to come here soon. Yeah. But why do I keep showing up? Because they're still here. That they're still doing the same. They're still doing the same things as when I showed up on the first day. Me and about a dozen other people or so, we helped get all this Whipple resistance off the ground. And that was months and months before the surge came. And even if the surge leaves, there's still going to be 300, 400, 500 agents here, and there's still going to be gulagging people, and that's still not cool. And so I'm going to keep showing until they're gone.
What's your message to viewers at home that want to get involved or help, and maybe they don't know how, or what advice do you give them for people watching at home?
You know somebody that's participating in this. Everybody knows somebody who's participating in this. Ask them about it. Ask them about it. Ask if you can join them. If you get involved in all this protest stuff, find a buddy. Find a buddy. It's always good to find a buddy, especially some of the little bit more spicy stuff. You should not be doing that alone. Find a buddy, get involved. Once you get involved, everybody here is so welcoming and whatnot. All you got to do is say, I want to help, and they'll be like, can you help me with this and this and this and this? And next thing you know, you're like fucking saving the world. And so, yeah, just stand up, get involved. My family is Hungarian. In 1848, Hungary had a democratic rising. 1848 is a famous year in Europe for democracy. You had the French Revolution, the Hungarian Revolution, and there was a third one. I forget the third one though. But anyway, there was this guy named Petőfi Sándor. And Petőfi Sándor, he wrote this poem called Topra Magyar. It means stand up Hungarian. And in this poem, he talks about how people need to stand up because your children are going to remember this. And when you stand up, they're going to sing your name in praise forever and stuff. And this is kind of a Topra Magyar moment. And we are fighting for democracy just as they were then. And we need to take this serious. So I would advise everybody stand up, American. It's time. It's time. It's past time.
One more time, sir, your name and then just final message for the stream.
Hans Chikos. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. I don't want to be the only person acting as your shield. I got out of the military a long time ago. Why am I still the shield? You all need to participate. You all need to participate. Stop relying on me to be your shield. I'm protecting your rights, but I would like it if you protect mine and your own and everybody else's too. So stand up.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Yep. Thank you, Andrew.
Of course.
So she died without even having U.S. citizenship, practically. She was saved by a priest.
Let me add a couple more. Hello, you guys. Let me see. See if you guys can see me well here. Check into the stream. We're going to do a couple more interviews. We're also going to walk over there and show you guys the latest protest right outside the Whipple building. You guys can see the vehicles outside as they're leaving still. Like you can still see ICE vehicles leaving the area. But it is pretty darn cold out here still. It's like 15 degrees. Boy, we had a false winter. But guys, just to update you quick, we're live on Status Coup News as well, as I've been saying, if you guys haven't been able to hear me. But I wanted to let you guys know that, you know, hey, subscribe to the channel to support if you can. You got $5 a month on Status Coup. You guys can support independent journalism. I mean, I can say we now because I've been also with Status Coup, and it's such a blessing to report. But we've been out here since December, okay? And Status Coup with JT and John and Will and Zach and Tina, they've all been around the country since last year, okay? Given reporting in LA, in Louisiana, in South Carolina, everywhere, okay? They've been going around the country showing what's been happening with the federal raids, and Chicago as well in Broadview. And then they also came here to Minnesota, and we were able to join together and provide as much independent reporting from here as possible, and that still continues, guys. So we really need your guys' support to continue supporting independent news media out here, because it's just us. So as you guys can see, contrary to the Trump narrative, that ICE is still here in Minnesota. You can hear the people booing, and we'll go over there so you guys can see it for yourself. But ICE agents are still going in and out of the building. They haven't left Minnesota completely. They're still conducting raids, and as you just heard from one gentleman, it's just more in a low-key manner, more so than like these big, massive like convoys through Minneapolis, the Twin Cities that you guys have been seeing on Status Coup and Mercado Media. You guys have been seeing that on the ground and what that's all looked like for the past 3 months. That escalation of violence that we have seen is likely become now more rural areas. They've spread out more. It's not so much a concentrated effort in like just like Minneapolis, for example. But ICE is still conducting operations. Also, we got reports indicating ICE is using more deceptive misdirection, which they also, by the way, if you guys have been paying attention to Status Coup News, they did reporting extensively on how ICE is using different insignia on their vehicles. We've seen Mexican flags in Chicago specifically. They're using LGBTQ plus insignia on vehicles. People have reported that they're using like fuck ICE stickers specifically to try to like throw people off from not tracking that vehicle. Be like, oh, is that an ICE vehicle? Oh, they have fuck ICE on the vehicle. Must not be. It's a deceptive tactic, and ICE has been using that to try to throw off observers. Also important to note that Trump did not even mention ICE in the State of the Union address last night. We watched it. I covered it live on Mercado Media, and I just reacted to it. I know many of you guys are watching the alternative, and that's fine. But I wanted to see if Trump was even going to mention the horrible operation here in Minnesota, and he didn't bring it up once, let alone the murders that ICE has conducted. Okay, so again, guys, we're live today, and I'm hoping I'm going to be live on Status Coup all week for you guys. It's up to Jordan, but I'll be live on Mercado Media all week. I'm going to go over there now and show you guys the protest and talk to some more people. But it's like a whole week of protests this week. We got today, tomorrow. What day is it? Is it Wednesday today? Today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and then I think Sunday. So I think we got multiple consecutive days of protests and updating you guys on what's going on here in Minnesota. I've taken a little bit of a break. I needed a mental health break myself, personally, because it's just been a lot out here, guys. And again, continue to support independent media. Been live on the ground here for 3 months. Appreciate all your guys' support. Now let's go and check out the protest over in by the fence.
For generations to come, because this is not a fight that's going to be over.
I also want to talk to a couple more people too.
And when I look at my kids, I think, damn, what's your role going to be in all of this?
While I'm moving, put into the comments where you guys are all watching from. Put it in the comments where you guys are all tuned in from, if you guys could.
If you haven't been, Veterans for Peace, my local chapter, I am the chapter president. I realize I didn't do any introduction, and half of you might be like, who is this person? But Veterans for Peace, my local chapter, has a social there every Wednesday night, starting around 9 o'clock. We usually shut it down, or at least some of us do. So please join us there. and really start to think about how you can come into closer and closer relationship with the people that you've been fighting with, because we're in this for the long haul. And so on that note, I think I'm just gonna, should we do some chanting? Should we do some like loud chanting? Should we start with the classic? Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck troll! Fuck troll! Fuck troll! Fuck troll! Alright, I think you guys are gonna like this one. This is from Run Around Convention. You and I thought donuts were gonna sing this. But it's a really good chant, and I super love it. So, you can just repeat after me to start with, and then we're gonna slow it down. I believe that we will. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
Hey, Volkswagen, if you want to get past that gate, you got to get the security guard a kiss. Kiss. Give him a smooch. Just a little touch. Just a kiss. Use hug. Friend, foe. Friend, foe. Friend, foe. Foe, apparently.
He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not.
Like 15 minutes.
Big guy with a truck is making the kiss now. Come on now.
Oh shit, fat boy, you better get ready. Your ride's here.
Need a big truck to haul that fat ass.
They need a big old truck to haul that fat old ass.
Turn around, show us the pearls, motherfucker.
Sorry, I got a little distracted over here daydreaming about your yeasty esophagus.
What's your favorite pizza topping, but you can't say cum? We got pizza over here.
What's your favorite pizza topping, but you can't say jizz? Suck my balls, you fucking traitor.
Fucking pussy! Bend over for me, motherfucker!
Person had a mask
Come
on.
over here and toss my salad for me, you fucking commie. Nobody fucking loves you. Leave your mask on if you're afraid of us, you little bitch.
Only pleasure you're ever gonna get, huh? Let's get try to talk about it. Keep sanitizing, bitch. Keep sanitizing.
So, if you guys are new, that's free speech zone 1. Okay, you can have free speech in that spot, and then you can have free speech in this spot over here, and that's it. So we're now in free speech zone number 2.
He's the one that Hey, fat ass, what are you doing? Hey, you finally came out. It's about time.
You're starting to get paid. You're starting to get paid. You're starting to get paid. You're still not getting 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 paid.
Oh yeah, been over here hanging up. Yep, oh yeah. Found some clips, I'm like, oh. How was the
Doesn't appear the unmarked vehicles have gone, so I mean you can sit out here and see ICE is still in Minnesota.
Fuck you!
Just up here on a Wednesday, and you got ICE agents going in and out of the building, as you guys can see.
I suck! I suck! Loser!
So just showing you guys some more of the signs that have been put up here at the Henry Whipple building that we've been providing coverage for outside for the past 3 months. As federal agents still continue to go in and out of the building. And also really quick, I wanted to address the Don't Tread on Me flag, which the first time we had seen it in the protest was in Minneapolis right after Renee Good was killed. And I understand why why some people are a little nervous about that flag, because white nationalists have obviously co-opted it for decades now. But it's honestly a good time if if you want that flag to mean what it's supposed to. It was interesting to see it in the protests, and it's still being flown. And it's just very interesting to see that in the face of like MAGA or like this administration, which uses that symbolism to further their political goals. But what it really is supposed to mean is kind of what the protest is in the spirit of the protest, fighting against the federal government, right? And the government treading on the people of Minnesota. So it's been an interesting symbol to, I guess, take back or repurpose it now for what it's supposed to be.
Go get your money somewhere else. No one wants to fund you. No one wants to fund you. No one wants to fund you. You are not getting paid.
Derek, why do you keep showing up out here? You keep coming up out here. You've been the police detained you for a little bit at the Richfield Target. You're still out here with your
Because
fam.
we can't be silent or complicit, because they're still here. Just because the sheriff's van's not here, just because the sheriffs are not here, doesn't mean that they're gone and they're not leaving. Because if you go to the backside, there's cars everywhere. Just because it's empty right here does not mean they're gone. It just means that they are somewhere else, in Minnetonka, somewhere else.
You're still seeing federal agents?
It's just a little slower, but they are here still, but they are hiding right now in other places. Minnetonka, I heard, but they're still here with all these cars in the back. And I'm not being dramatic. They're still here, and I'm not gonna be complicit over this.
Thank you so much for your time, Derek. You guys will follow activist Derek.
Dildo dance party!
Stop sign, please stop for the stop sign. There's a stop sign there. Full stop. Hey, good job.
So again, guys, we've been live on the ground here for the past 3 months with Status Quo News and Mercado Media. We've been providing coverage, and that will continue. Collectively, I think a lot of people that have been on the ground covering what's been happening have needed a little bit of a break. Especially the journalists you guys know at Status Quo. You guys know like John and JT and Tina and Zach, Will. They've been out in the middle of all of it. I'm doing for status quo as well.
I know, that's
Is that
awesome.
it?
I
Is
saw
that-
that you did that. Or you're
It's
on.
probably be good to get a follow up for him. Let's get you all. Yeah, let me back up a minute.
I should have spoke. Everybody was bugging me to speak, but
I mean,
I'm try to let
other people.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody knows my story. I've been kind of everywhere.
All right. Well, first, I mean, reintroduce yourself in case people don't know.
Well, I'm Chris Ostrushko, also known as Minnesota Angry Man. Tim Miller gave me that moniker.
Tim Miller gave you Minnesota Angry Man.
Yes, he did. Yep, Tim Miller from the Bulwark Media Group.
They do really good work, and I got to talk to you so they can hear me. You were just also on John Oliver.
I was.
That was
yes.
pretty cool to see.
Yeah. They called me the Tuesday before they used the clip in their show, and they didn't let me know how they were going to use the clip, but it was really cool how John Oliver kind of bookended me with the beginning of it and then at the end going back to it. That was pretty cool.
What did you think of that? Did you think he did a pretty good job?
Yeah, I did. I thought he did a really good job explaining what was going on, and I like his satire, even though it's obviously real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like John Oliver's style. I like the way they did it. I also like Status Quo's interview with you too. I feel like they were able to let you speak and everything. That's why. So give us an update after all that. You went viral. You gave your thoughts in the middle of we were being flashbanged and tear gassed, and the federal agents they just shot another person that night.
Right.
Give us an update. Well, how are you doing now? What's the situation here with Metro Surge? What are you seeing on the ground?
I mean, as far as I know, it really hasn't let up. I'm still seeing the exact same stuff. They're quieter about it. They're more discreet about what's going on. They've found different ways, going earlier in the morning while people are at work or trying to get to work. And then they're in the suburbs. It's a lot more spread out, so it's harder to cover. And people are tired, so there aren't as many observers out there as there was before. As far as myself, I mean, I've kind of become a full-time activist. I'm trying to figure out where to go with it. And I mean, the reason why I got involved in the first place, well, a couple of reasons. One, my wife was mad that I was sitting at home fighting with MAGA all the time. But outside of that, my grandparents are from the Ukraine, and they're no longer with us, but they taught me to look out for this stuff because they survived the Holodomor. And for people that don't know what that is, it was Stalin's famine of the Ukrainian people, and in less than 2 years, they had killed 7 million people. My grandparents survived that genocide. Yeah, so, and then my grandpa joined the underground Ukrainian army, and at one point, the Germans had caught the underground army and convinced them to fight for Hitler, with the promise that they would go after Stalin and Russia afterwards. So my grandparents have always taught me to look out for exactly what's going on here today because it mirrors what's going on or what had happened to them back then. We haven't got to that point yet, but it is the start of that type of regime. Yeah, he did, yeah. That's my daughter.
Oh, nice. Your grandpa fought in Stalingrad as well.
He did, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. Also, it's also kind of modern day as well. We just had the anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, modern day.
Right.
Russia's carrying out an invasion and fascism on Ukrainians right now. And I've also been kind of telling my audience too, like, hey, if this continues, it's going to become like what we've seen and what your family's experienced and what others have seen around the world. I'm sorry. you gotta give me a moment. But yeah, it's very good you bring that up because I like that you're using other examples of like throughout history and geopolitics. Why do you think that is important for us to learn from historical precedent, things throughout history? Why is that important for us to learn from that and apply it to today?
That's all we can go off of is what we've learned from the past. And that's the reason why it was so easy for that to happen today here, is not enough Americans have experienced anything like that. And their families haven't experienced anything like that. So they're not being taught what to look out for. We're not taught that in history class. We know about the stuff, but we're not taught about it. That's what baffles me about like the Israelis right now and the genocide in Gaza. that's so hard to wrap your head around when they went through that. So why would you bring that upon another culture? It's crazy.
I agree. So you said that now you've kind of become more of an activist, and you said you're trying to figure out what you want to do with it. Where you're at with that right now? Do you want to do more on the ground stuff? You have an Instagram page. I see you trying to do some more social media. Are you going to balance both? What do you think you're going to do going forward?
I think what it's going to end up being is, as of right now, probably podcast work. I am in talks with Bulwark Media to possibly join their podcast team. Yeah, my daughter and my wife are helping me. I always have to say that, otherwise they throw it in my face. Because I'm not the most computer literate person out there. But yeah, I think podcasts. I know some people are asking me to try to run for office. I don't know if that's in the cards because that's not really who I am. Yeah, I don't know.
It's natural. It's like, especially since I'm assuming you didn't expect to become an activist or any type of like what you're doing right now.
No, and I was told to stay out of the limelight, in fact, and I told everybody the same thing. It's Zach tried to get an interview from me 4 times that evening, and I kept turning him down because my brother was with him. My brother's always been involved in protesting and stuff, and he's like, the last thing you want to do is get your face out there. You don't want facial recognition. So cover your face all the time and don't talk to the media. But I got so frustrated that night, I was like, you know what, fuck it, walk with me, Zach, and we'll talk. And I just went off.
And it is much appreciated, especially, talking to good independent media, I think, is important, more so than the corporate media.
Oh, 100%.
So you said you've still been seeing ICE. ICE is not out. You're going to continue. There's actions this week. What else do you have planned? Like, you're going to continue what you're doing, but are you going to continue coming to the local events? What are you going to do going forward?
I am definitely going to keep coming to the local events as long as they keep going about. And then I have to figure out where to go from there. I know I'm in contact with Cliff Cash, who's also another big activist, comedian. And as far as Cliff, I am planning on going out to Washington and spending some time out there with Cliff and some of those other activists that are out there. Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah.
Did you manage to watch the State of the Union last night?
Well, here's the thing. So I was at a benefit. Every year, my uncle's a famous musician, or he's passed away, but he's a famous Ukrainian musician who played with Bob Dylan, and he had fame upon himself, though, based on who he was. So every year, there's a benefit for Ukraine. In fact, he died the day the invasion started. So every year they do an event with all the local musicians as a benefit for Ukraine under my uncle, as a way to represent my uncle. So we were there last night. So that I didn't watch the State of the Union because I was there. But when I got home, I actually watched it at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is we have a world-class liar in office. Obviously, everybody knows he's a pedophile. He's a vile human being. And he doubled down on everything that he said. All the rhetoric about Somalis, about immigrants, about Hispanic people. And honestly, none of this is going to change until we as human beings stop looking at that, stop listening to the government segregate us, and we have to start seeing humans for humans and beyond the veil.
I agree. I couldn't agree more with that, especially like the targeted divisiveness is what I'm seeing. It's like it's like specific, like trying to put people against each other.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
100%. That's exactly what this administration is doing. And I don't think either administration or either side has done a good job stopping that. I believe they all work hand in hand. I think that we need more regular people running for office that actually care about humanity.
What are you looking for in a politician now? Like, if you're going to be excited to vote for someone, or you're going to go out there and like try to be involved, what are you looking for in someone that's a leader?
Well, I don't know if the people that would be watching this know who Talrico is down in Texas. I'm looking for somebody that is looking to change the system. And it's hard because when you run for the Democratic Party, you have to follow their platform. If you run for the Conservative or Republican Party, you have to follow their platform. Although that party's been hijacked by MAGA, it's not even a conservative party anymore. So that's the hard part. I think we need to get rid of all the money in politics, and we have to allow other parties, other platforms to run. You know, they have to spread out the money. They've got to cap that money somehow. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for real people that actually care. And I know over time people get tainted by the money because it's hard to say no to money. But we need people that are willing to put that aside. I don't know who the guy's name is in Maine, the clam fisherman. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't.
He's amazing.
He's a good guy too.
Oh my God, he's amazing.
Maybe Chad will put his name in there and I'll read it out.
He's amazing.
So you like Talrico and you like guy from Maine. Like they're doing really good. What do you like about them? What stands out to you?
Just that they're real people, and when they talk, you can relate to them. You're not talking to some billionaire or some millionaire that we don't relate to. You know, when you don't relate to people, and those people aren't willing to fight for the average Joe. These new people coming in are willing to fight for the average Joe because that is who they are.
Graham Plattner, I think.
Yes, Graham, yes.
Yeah, Graham Plattner in Maine, so you really like
Graham Plattner, yeah, he's amazing.
Thank you. Chat was on it, dude.
Yeah.
What message do you have to people watching at home? Because obviously you got involved. You did not expect to get involved in the fight against Trump, like we can call it, or the resistance against Trump.
MAGA, Trump, yeah.
So, what message do you have to people that might be watching at home that, you know, I hope they're not on the fence still of what's happening, but say there might be, you know, there will be. What's your message to those people?
Stop listening to the politicians. Honestly, stop listening to the news. I'm even pissed at our local politicians because they keep saying ICE is done and people are doing victory laps and they're doing victory laps and going on podcasts and going on the Daily Show like Mayor Fry did. Yeah, we have not won anything. This is still going on. We have to stay active. Stop listening to pundits. It baffles my mind that if you go out and see Alex Preddy and that shooting, that you have to go to a pundit to listen to what you just saw. They tell you what you just saw, even though you saw it with your own eyes. Start thinking for yourself, go out and see what's going on. That is how we're going to get through this, not by listening to pundits or podcasts and people tell you what you saw. You know, obviously, independent media is what you should be watching. There are podcasts out there that good, but obviously one side is just insane. I don't even know how to explain it. MAGA is crazy.
They've lost their mind.
Yeah.
All right, one more time, sir. Your name, how they can follow your work and support your new activism that you've started now.
Crystal Strushko, go by MN Angry Man. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, and on Blue Sky.
Thank you so much, buddy.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time.
Oh yeah, I can show the
you
stickers.
show your
I got
stickers.
Stickers.
Hell yeah. I love that. It says, I got to work in the goddamn morning just like everybody else.
Yep. Oh yeah, I got a couple other ones.
He's got a couple more.
Yeah.
This is fucking nuts. That's a good one.
Yeah, and then I got.
You got to get these to John Oliver so you can have him on,
John
on the
Oliver.
show.
Oh, and I got this one.
That says, I don't give a shit who you are, where you came from, what color you are, it doesn't fucking matter. This is wrong. Based. Can I?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get a couple of those. Yep. And yeah, this is collector's items.
Oh, sure.
All right, buddy.
Have you met Andrew Mercado? Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Awesome. Very nice to meet you.
Remember I was at your softball game back in 2020?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was
He's
I still play softball.
He's doing independent work with
Status Quo
now. Yeah.
Yep. Working with them. So I was like, I need to give them a follow-up too, because I saw that your interview.
Right. She was trying to get me to speak over there. I should have spoke. I had a lot to say. The problem is if I say what I wanted to say, people would want me to run for office because I had a big speech to give.
There'll be more opportunities. Midterms are coming up, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not like this is going on.
I have had a what do you call it? A campaign manager reach out to me and ask if I was interested.
There you go. Maybe it's your calling.
for 2 years, you know what I
Okay, you'll
mean?
be
It's
fine.
just,
Yeah,
Who
right.
cares? No one cares about that anymore.
Mother shall swallow, your mother shall swallow. Your mother shall swallow, your mother shall swallow. You're not getting paid. 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 Hi, Karen. How are you, Karen? Hi, Karen. Nice to meet you, Karen. Nice to meet you.
I don't know why you're scared of Aiden, dude.
All right, let me make sure you guys can see me. All right. I'm still going. My bad. I'm wrapping here soon.
You could crush Jaden.
Oh yeah, he's
I
little.
heard his leg got busted in Michigan.
Yeah, he got something happened to him.
Fucked up, yeah.
Okay, chat. You guys see me well? All right, perfect. All right. So quick, just to give you guys another update. We're live coverage out here today. There was a community open mic for people saying songs. There was slam poetry. People were just sharing what they thought after these past 3 months of Operation Metro Surge, which ICE agents are still here. They're still going in and out of the building. There's a few vehicles on this stream. You guys could see them going in and out. They're also on the other side going in and out. So ICE operation is still ongoing. They might not be out here in mass like they were. It might not be the scale, because when we first got here, when I first started, then when JT showed up, and right in the way in December, like it was hard not to see ICE agents, right? Like we'd be out there driving around, and we would see ICE agents like without even trying. Like, oh, there's an ICE vehicle. There's an ICE vehicle. They were everywhere. So like we might not be in that mode right now, to where it's just like every single place you look, but they're still in the rural parts of Minnesota. There's still, the operation has changed because the politics of the operation has made it so hard for Donald Trump and this administration to want to continue this federal occupation of Minnesota. It's just, the politics are against it. The public opinion is against it, and MAGA operates 100% off of public opinion. Well, 90%, because the other 10% will be like whatever Trump feels that day. But if the public opinion against MAGA is so bad, then they're not going to want to be able to continue it in the scope and scale that they were. So it's not over, but the scope and scale has changed, and they're spreading out into the more rural areas around Minnesota. So also, I want to reiterate that ICE is using misdirection. They're using deceptive tactics as well. So you have the operation changing in the scale and scope, but you also have ICE agents using stickers on their vehicles, using fuck ICE symbology on their vehicles. We saw this in Broadview in Chicago, where they had the Mexican flag on their car and they're driving around, and it's to try to distract observers and people that are seeing what they're doing, and also try to like muddy the narrative, like, oh, is that an ICE agent? Who is that? And that's why they're wearing, or that's why they're putting those insignias on their vehicles. What else we got here? Just some notes. I took some notes so I make sure you guys get updated. And also shout out to Jordan from Status Quo. Guys, support Status Quo News. $5 a month will contribute, and that's all you got to do to support independent media. And I'm just being honest, like $5 a month for any independent media is like that carries us to the promised land. Take it from me. Like, I know you guys hear it from JT and John and Tina and Zach over there on Status Quo. But I tell you what, it's like from Mercado Media, I've been able to be a solo dolo for 6 years off of some $5 a month, not even, like $2 a month. Okay, that continues independent media work like you wouldn't believe. Okay, guys, I promise you. Just that supports independent media. It's so easy to do. I appreciate everybody that supports. And it also provides people like me to be able to report for amazing platforms like Status Coup, right? I'm able to, someone like me is able to transcend. Status Coup is able to transcend. It all just works out with your guys' support, okay? Your guys' support continues our work on the ground, and we're not able to do it without you. Literally, we cannot. We cannot. There's nobody else giving us funding. So there's no billionaire like, oh, I really like this independent media. Let me give them some money. That doesn't happen. It does not exist, okay? So it's really, truly on the support of all of you guys to support independent media. Trump didn't even mention ICE in the State of the Union address last night. Very important to mention. I did cover it on my channel last night. We suffered through that brain rot, and it was exactly that. It was a Trump campaign speech. He was mad Democrats didn't stand when he was like doing his fascism aura farming, and because of that, he was upset and pissed. But beyond that, he didn't mention the ICE operations. Obviously, he's not going to mention anything that's negative towards the administration because he runs on populism. But right now, public opinion on ICE is so terrible, and he did not mention that at all in the State of the Union address. Let me see what else we got here. This week, also this week is the start of a week-long of events. I know it's Wednesday, it's not Monday, but we have events coming up. We have events today, which you guys just watched, events tomorrow, events Friday, events Saturday, and probably Sunday too. I gotta look at my schedule, but I do think we do have events on Sunday, and I'm gonna be your reporter. Okay, so with Mercado Media, you guys are stuck with me no matter what. But on Status Coup News, we'll be live out here for you guys on the ground, giving you guys all the latest. We'll be talking to people. There will be marches, bigger events, like up here at the Whipple Building. You guys can see it's hard to organize here. It's like the North Bank up here. Like they got T-walls and fences and free speech zones, so it's a lot harder to organize and really do good journalism up here. Really, it's just tough outside this building, but we got plenty of marches, plenty of activities coming up. You got the brass band that's going to be coming up at the end of the week that I'm going to be covering and talking to those guys out there. More people that are more activists that are involved on the ground. I'll get you guys connected to them so you guys can hear from them directly on what they have planned coming up in Minnesota. I mean, beyond this, guys, like if you're wondering, like if you've been looking at the coverage and like where has it been, this administration has plans that are not good for the country. This is like one phase of it, okay? This is just one opening phase of it. I covered on my channel, and I know for a fact that Status Coup News has talked about Project 2025 and the administration, the Heritage Foundation, and the plans for this country, and none of it is optimal. None of it is good, you guys. So, well, right now the ICE operation is like, again, changing scope and scale. They're moving to the rural areas. It feels like it's slowing down. We still have 3 more years of this administration. Who knows if they're going to launch a war in Iran? Pay attention to Status Coup News for geopolitics. I know they have great reporters that cover the geopolitics of the news and what's happening with war or anything that's going on there. I'll be covering it on Mercado Media if we're going to do anything with launch a war in Iran because things are so bad. If any of that's going to happen, we'll make sure you guys get the information about all that. But while this ICE operation has slowed down, nothing is changing in terms of the fascist goals of this administration. And I want to make sure you guys stay resilient and you guys don't start thinking that, you know, hey, things are good and the vibes are not with MAGA, which they aren't, okay? Definitely not. But stay resilient, okay? Make sure you guys pay attention to all the live updates from Status Coup News and all the reporters doing their work. And also here at Mercado Media, we'll be streaming more. I've been taking a mental health break a little bit. I've been gaming a little bit. I have a gaming channel. And I've just needed to kind of just wipe my brain a little bit from the chaos that we've experienced here in the Twin Cities for the past 3 straight months. And it has been chaos, you guys. It has been. You guys have been watching it live, nonstop. We just as journalists in the middle of it, getting just tear gas flashbanged. You had Tina was shoved down to the ground. You had John and JT out there in like some super tear gas. just inhaling all of it. So, I mean, we're going to give you guys the stories of what's happening here on the ground. That's not going to stop. And I just want you guys to please be resilient and understand that even though this operation might feel like it's ending, this Trump administration is not ending. Okay, we still have a long way to go, all right? You guys are great. I appreciate you. Thank you so much to the Status Coup viewers for having me. I'm so blessed to be a reporter for you guys when available here in Minnesota, and I can't wait to contribute to more. Mercado Media, you guys are awesome as well. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so. Again, support Status Coup News, $5 a month. $5 a month. Same with Mercado Media. Whatever you want, if you want to, but just the lowest amount supports you guys, independent news. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Andrew Mercado reporting for Status Coup News and Mercado Media live outside the Henry Whipple building at Fort Snelling, Minnesota. You guys have a good rest of your afternoon, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks for the work you did in Ukraine.
Well, this is mine. It's like for Mercado Media. So like bigger than me by like 7 times. At least 7, 8 times bigger. That looks good. They better come up with it. He is good. We're just seeing he's around all week. You guys gonna be out at all the events all week.